The NBA is about to change forever. Two new franchises are coming, Las Vegas and Seattle. And while most fans are celebrating the return of basketball to Seattle and the glamour of Vegas joining the league, almost nobody is talking about the part that should terrify every existing NBA fan. Your team is probably going to lose players, not in free agency, not in a trade, not because they asked out, but because of something most casual fans barely understand: the expansion draft. And trust me, this isn't just some boring league office process hidden in paperwork. Expansion drafts change franchises. They destroy roster depth. They expose front office mistakes. And sometimes, they quietly reshape the balance of power in the NBA for years. Today, we're giving you the brutal truth about NBA expansion, what it really means, which teams are most at risk, and why some fan bases are about to get a painful surprise they never saw coming. You're watching the Sports Verdict Daily, where we break down the biggest stories in American sports every single day and give you the final call. I'm your host. Let's get into today's verdict. So here's the situation. The NBA is moving toward expansion. Las Vegas is widely expected to get a franchise. Seattle is expected to finally get basketball back after losing the Supersonics back in 2008. And honestly, from a business perspective, it makes complete sense. Vegas has become one of the biggest sports cities in America almost overnight. The Golden Knights reached the Stanley Cup Finals in their very first season. The Raiders moved there. Formula One is there now. Vegas isn't just a gambling city anymore, it's becoming a sports empire. And Seattle? That city has been waiting almost 20 years for revenge. The Supersonics leaving remains one of the most painful relocations in NBA history. Fans in Seattle never stopped caring about basketball. They never stopped wearing Sonics gear. They never stopped demanding their team back. Emotionally, Seattle deserves this. Financially, Vegas makes perfect sense. But here's where this story gets serious. Because expansion doesn't just create new teams, it disrupts every existing team in the NBA. To understand why, you need to understand how an expansion draft works. When a new NBA franchise enters the league, they can't just magically build a roster from nothing. So the NBA allows expansion teams to select players from existing rosters. Every current NBA team gets to protect a limited number of players, historically around 8 players. Everybody else? Available. That means if your favorite team has 15 players on the roster, potentially 7 of them are exposed to the expansion teams. And this is where fans start realizing how dangerous this can get. Because those exposed players aren't always random bench guys nobody cares about. Sometimes it's your best role player, your 6th man, your young backup center with upside, the fan favorite veteran everybody loves in the locker room, gone, overnight. And here's the brutal part, deep teams suffer the most. Normally, depth is one of the biggest strengths in basketball. Great organizations build deep rotations so injuries don't destroy them. But in an expansion draft, depth becomes a liability, because the more good players you have, the more painful it becomes deciding who to protect. Think about teams like Oklahoma City. The Thunder are stacked with young talent. Obviously, they protect their stars, Shea, Chet, Jalen Williams. But after that, tough decisions start fast. And expansion teams love targeting young role players with upside. Why? Because expansion franchises aren't trying to win immediately. They're trying to build value. They want young players who can develop into something bigger. That's why rebuilding teams are secretly terrified of expansion too. If you're a rebuilding franchise with a bunch of promising young players, expansion teams see opportunity everywhere. One bad protection decision can set your rebuild back years. Now let's talk history, because NBA expansion has already shown us exactly how brutal this process can be. Back in 1995, the Toronto Raptors and Vancouver Grizzlies entered the NBA together. And just like today, fans underestimated how disruptive expansion would become. Existing teams lost important rotation players. Front offices made protection mistakes. Some franchises recovered quickly. Others spent years regretting who they exposed. Then there's the Charlotte Hornets in 1988, one of the most successful expansion launches in NBA history. The Hornets immediately built one of the most passionate fan bases in basketball. Expansion can absolutely inject new energy into the league. But somebody always pays the price for that energy. That's the part nobody says out loud. Every expansion success story is also somebody else's roster problem, and history shows that some teams never fully recover from losing the wrong player, because role players matter more than casual fans realize. Championship teams aren't just built on stars, they're built on chemistry, continuity, bench depth, defenders willing to sacrifice stats, veterans who stabilize locker rooms. Expansion drafts quietly attack all of that. And honestly, today's NBA might be even more vulnerable than previous eras, because modern rosters are smarter and deeper than ever. Front offices have become incredibly good at finding hidden talent late in drafts, developing role players, and maximizing cheap contracts. That means there are more valuable non-star players across the league than ever before, which means expansion teams are walking into an absolutely loaded talent pool. Now here's where the conversation gets really interesting, because not every team faces equal danger. Some teams are actually positioned pretty well for expansion. Star-dependent teams? Ironically, they're safer. If your roster is built around one or two obvious superstars, protection decisions become easier. Protect the stars, protect a few key pieces. Done. Teams like the Knicks, Spurs, or Thunder can lock down their franchise cornerstones immediately. But balanced teams with deep rotations? That's where expansion becomes a nightmare. Imagine trying to protect every important role player when you only have 8 spots. You can't. Somebody valuable gets exposed no matter what, and expansion teams know exactly how to exploit that pressure. Now, before everybody panics, there's another side to this story that most fans are completely missing. Expansion also creates opportunities. First, salary cap growth. More teams means more revenue, more markets, more television money, more sponsorships. And historically, expansion has helped increase basketball-related income across the league. That eventually means higher salary caps and more flexibility for teams to rebuild. Second, draft compensation. Historically, expansion processes often involve additional draft considerations and asset movement throughout the league. Smart front offices can absolutely use expansion chaos to their advantage. The best executives won't just survive expansion, they'll weaponize it. And third, the NBA itself becomes bigger. More cities means more fans, more rivalries, more nationally relevant storylines. Seattle instantly becomes one of the most emotional fan bases in basketball again. Vegas immediately becomes a spectacle city for free agents, celebrities, and destination games. The league becomes louder, bigger, richer. That matters. But now we get to the fun debate. Vegas or Seattle? Which expansion city wins first? Vegas has the business advantage. The city is exploding economically. Athletes love it, celebrities love it. Tourism guarantees packed arenas almost immediately, and Vegas already proved with the Golden Knights that expansion teams can succeed incredibly fast there. But Seattle? Seattle has emotional power, and emotional fan bases are dangerous in sports. This is a city that never emotionally recovered from losing the Sonics. They've spent nearly 2 decades waiting for this moment. That kind of hunger creates unbelievable home court energy. Vegas brings glamour. Seattle brings pain, loyalty, and desperation. Financially, Vegas probably wins. Emotionally, Seattle already won the moment basketball comes back. Now here's the final verdict. NBA expansion sounds exciting because fans naturally focus on the new teams, new logos, new jerseys, new arenas, new stars. But the brutal truth is this: expansion is really about disruption. It's about forcing every current NBA franchise into impossible decisions. Who do you protect? Who do you risk losing? Which young player do you gamble on? Which veteran do you sacrifice? The teams that prepare intelligently, the teams that understand roster construction, long-term value, and expansion strategy will survive this and maybe even come out stronger. But the teams that underestimate the expansion draft, they're going to lose players they never thought they could replace. And years from now, when fans wonder why their team suddenly lost depth, chemistry, or momentum, the answer might trace all the way back to Las Vegas and Seattle entering the NBA. That's the Sports Verdict Daily Take. NBA expansion isn't just adding 2 teams, it's reshaping the entire league. If you made it this far, you already know the deal. Subscribe to the Sports Verdict Daily, hit the bell, and you'll get the call on every major story in American sports every single day. And now I want your take in the comments. Which current NBA team is most at risk when expansion happens? And if you had to choose right now, Vegas or Seattle, which city becomes successful first? I'll see you tomorrow. Same time. Next verdict.